by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Number 900, Alex Ovechkin, first player in National Hockey League history to reach that magic number.
Amazing night, 900, wow.
I could go on and on. I could say yes, no, all that crap. Slice me open and see what colors I bleed. Are you gonna ask the same thing? Okay, I got one for you too. I got a better one now. I got a better one.
To you.
We laugh about it.
Okay, good, yeah.
We laugh about it.
Yeah.
We do. With the team. It's flattering. Great. It's awesome, guys. You're going to hear it. Oh, hey, guess what? I went and spoke in Birmingham on Monday.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. Landon Winkler is over in the corner keeping us on the air. You want to watch the show as well as listen to it, you can do that by going to greatbendpost.com, hovering over the sports tab, click on sports news. Should be the first thing right there for you. You'll see the Sports Day logo, and then it'll say watch sport Thursday on Sports Day, I think is what it says, something to that effect. I write it. I should know. Your sounds of the past 24 hours, it's how we lead off every single show. Before we get to that, Barton Community College brings you Sports Day today. It's offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities supporting student, community, and employee needs. Your sounds of the past 24 hours. What happened last night? Well, something that's never happened before in the history of the National Hockey League, the world's premier hockey league. Alex Ovechkin. Last year, he broke Wayne Gretzky's goal record for most goals scored with his 895th towards the end of the year. Now, I think we're a little more than a week into the regular season this year, and Alex Ovechkin becomes the inaugural member of the 900 goal club in the National Hockey League. I've said it before, I don't really pay attention to hockey, not really my sport, but anytime you can do something that no one has ever done before, that's a big deal. And Alex Ovechkin has managed to do something that's never been done before. Now, he's still miles away from Wayne Gretzky's points record, which, if anybody who doesn't know, points is goals plus assists. Gretzky got to 894 career goals. He never was able. He also had a boatload of assists to his name as well. So Ovechkin not going to touch that record. He is, I believe Ovechkin is now north of 40, or he's darn close if he's not. Either way, a very spectacular player and a spectacular career that kind of reached a new height last night that no one has ever been to. The other sound, and this one happened earlier today, Brent Key, head coach of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, is a name that's being tossed around in a lot of head coaching vacancies in the world of college football. And in no uncertain terms did his best to put those rumors to rest. He specifically said, cut me open and see what colors I bleed. He is a Georgia Tech graduate. He was an assistant coach before he was elevated to head coach in Atlanta. And, Georgia Tech, they've had a great year. Anybody who can win at Georgia Tech can win at a lot of places. And the fact that he's being mentioned, he sees it as an honor. I mean, you heard it in the press conference audio there. He thinks it's a great thing to be recognized, but it means they're a really successful team. But he is at least projecting that he wants to stay at Georgia Tech and get things done there. And with a little jab at the end, went and spoke in Birmingham. Of course, Auburn, one of the jobs that's open. Birmingham is about 2 hours from Auburn. Actually, it's kind of funny he says that. Atlanta is closer to Auburn than Birmingham is. Atlanta to Auburn is about a 45-minute drive. Meanwhile, Auburn to Birmingham is about 2 hours. But either way, interesting notes from Brent Key. And of course, like I said, something that's never been done before in the history of the National Hockey League. Alex Ovechkin scores his 900th goal in the NHL. And that's I mean, again, anytime you can do something that no one has ever done before, that's a big deal and deserves to be celebrated. So we're celebrating here on Sports Day. Sports Day today is brought to you in part by the Marmiotto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also brought to you by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Also brought to you by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the very best in the country. All right, we got to take our first break of the show. When we come back, Aaron Beck, head coach of Great Bend High School football, joins us ahead of their Week 10 matchup against, who are they playing? Bishop Carroll. Playing Bishop Carroll tomorrow night. He'll join us, and we'll talk about that game and what he expects. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Gobble up the savings at C&D Doors. Right now, get incredible Thanksgiving deals on 9x7 and 16x7 white insulated garage doors. These savings won't last long. When the turkeys are gone, so are the deals. So run or waddle or maybe even gobble to C&E Doors today and gobble up your insulated door before they fly the coop.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you now, joined by Aaron Beck, head coach of the Great Bend High School football Panthers. Coach, thanks for taking the time as you do every week. We were talking kind of during the break, waiting for the show to come back on. Let's recap what you did with Newton. Newton, you 1 versus 16, kind of the matchup you expected, a 49-14 win.
Yeah, Newton was kind of a team that felt like, watching them on film, that you could tell they had taken a huge step. I know it hadn't really shown in the win-loss column, but you could just tell they were playing a lot harder. They took, Hutch to the wire in 2 weeks prior to us playing them, and our kids kind of said that. They said, man, Coach, you were right. That Newton team did play hard, and I thought our guys executed, well enough to get out on them early and just kind of secure that win. I didn't think we played our best football, and that's probably a little indication. I thought we didn't have our best week of practice last week, and it showed a little bit. So it was kind of nice to be able to, get out of there with I don't even know what it was, 42-14 win or something, or 49-14 win or something, and take the time to reflect and understand that we got to refocus and get ourselves locked in here for this week, and we really did that here heading into Carroll.
We keep talking about benchmarks for your team to hit, and Coach, this one not a realistic expectation by any means, but we keep talking about the explosiveness of your running game and 16 yards a carry in this game, Coach. And, things like that, I feel like I've said it a couple of times, you're going to win a lot of football games if you can pull that number off.
Yeah, and that was nice to see. Our ability to run the football was what you need to be able to do in November when, the weather gets a little colder or a little more windy. You have to play in those elements. So to do some of that stuff, we weren't real happy with the effectiveness we threw the ball Friday. So that's something that we got to make sure we can still do both. And but yeah, those guys up front did a really nice job, and Daxton and Connor and Ian all ran it really well.
That's another thing that I wanted to talk about was you distributed the carries pretty well, and part of that was you only did have to play about a quarter and a half of this one too full. But no one on the team had more than 7 carries with the ball, so you were able to spread it out and keep guys from getting banged up.
Yeah, that's kind of been a goal of ours all season long. Just try to make sure that you're not wearing kids out too much and putting too many miles on them too early. And we've kind of been able to do that. I think a kid like Ian, outside the Hayes game, I don't think he's had more than 5 carries in a game, and that's a good sign for us. And same goes with Daxton. Like, we always know that he has the ability to run it, but you also don't want to expose your quarterback too much to that when you don't have to take those unnecessary hits. So hopefully our kids are feeling good and ready to go here for week 2.
And that's something that we were talking about also during the break, was you've been able to keep miles off of these kids' tires with the leads and the excellent first halves that you guys have had. How much do you expect that to help going into the postseason?
Well, we'll see. Hopefully it does. You're right. I feel like that's been kind of a difference in this year to last year. We were just talking about it, a little bit off air, is also in the weight room. I feel like our kids are continuing to see gains, and that's a good thing as a coach to see, as a strength staff to understand these kids are getting stronger, because hopefully you're gearing up for a November run. And we've played 9 full games, but I think I did the math that some of our varsity kids have only played in like 6.5 total games. So, JV and freshman kids have gotten over 2 full games of varsity experience. So hopefully that holds true. And I've noticed that with plays. We haven't ran nearly as many plays as we did last year at this time, but a little of it is the explosiveness, and also just being able to rest those guys.
Let's talk about one of those most explosive players, a kid, we talked about him a ton. He gets a lot of attention, and justifiably so. Cooper Romont continues to score the ball in just so many different ways. He has a passing touchdown this year, several receiving touchdowns, a couple of pick sixes to go with it, kick returns, as a rushing touchdown as well, at least one. So to talk about when you have a kid like that, how does it unlock the rest of your team?
Yeah, I think the part that we were most excited about was last week was just the way he played defensively. He had an outstanding game, made probably one of the most impressive interceptions I've ever seen a high school kid make when he hawked that thing with one hand, and was one guy away from getting another pick six on that one. So, he's an explosive, dynamic kid back there, and can put a lot of pressure on offenses because, when you have 14 and 2 back there, and along with Cohen, who's gotten, 4 interceptions, and really feel like our defense is playing really good football. They're kind of the cog that makes our team go. You can just tell they bring the juice each and every week, having that excitement of trying to shut teams out in the first half. I mean, they haven't given up many scores in the first half this season, and the Kern brothers are doing such a great job of leading that unit and finding different spots of guys that we can kind of plug and play for a kid like Hayden. And our D-line is getting better each and every week, and it's gonna have to be good here against Carroll this Friday.
You talked about Bishop Carroll there. Let's speak on them a little bit. Big school, a lot of kids, and a school that expects to win. The playoffs officially start now, regardless of who you ask, and this is a team that's 6-3. They're used to winning football games, and they're going to come in confident.
Yeah, I mean they're a historically good football program. They got a new football coach this year, and he's got the kids playing really hard. I mean, if you look at their schedule, and their 3 losses are against 3 really good teams. A Bishop McGinnis team out of Oklahoma that's still undefeated. They lost week 1 to Wichita Northwest, who's one of the best in 6A, and then they lost to Cape and Mount Carmel, one of the best teams in 4A. So if you look at their 3 losses, their strength of schedule is up there, and beat a really good Derby team. Have played some other good opponents, and they're a solid football team that is well coached, fly around. We have watched probably more film this week as a team, as a staff than we have for anybody, because they do so many good things defensively. They keep you up. Let's just say that they are all over the place. They're stimming, they're blitzing, they're dropping, they're stunting. So we just got to make sure that we are sound on our pass pro, prove that you can stop some of their pressures and try to get them out of it. Give Daxton enough time to get the ball to our kids in space, and we'll feel confident about that. And then on the flip side, defensively, they do a lot of zone read. Their quarterback runs it well. They want to establish the run game, and he does a good job. I thought in that Derby game, he threw the ball exceptionally well. Didn't have to throw it as much against Valley Center last week, was able to get it out on the edge, and that was one of the benefits of them playing on Thursday. We were, as a staff, able to go watch that one and live scout it a little bit, so I kind of got a feel just for how hard their kids play, and that will be something that we just have to be prepared for.
This is the week that the team made it to last year, and obviously that upset that happened last year. This is how do you keep that from your mind, I guess? How do you not let last year affect this year?
I think it's you always kind of learn from those. Those I think I heard Marcus Freeman's call them bloody wounds that you have from the year before, and but I know that our guys are just focused on the task at hand. They always begin with the end in mind of where we want to be, but right now it's just trying to focus on getting better each and every day. And this next hurdle is Carroll, and making sure that you do everything you can to. You can't afford to have any kind of slip-ups and bad games this time of year because, it's winter go home. So I think they understand the importance of that, and you could just tell it in our week of practice, our preparation, the amount of film study these guys have put in. You can tell they're very focused and very competitive group.
How do you stop yourself and the team from, you know the way the bracket looks, and so do I. How do you stop yourself from looking ahead, I guess?
I think the biggest thing is you just try to make sure that they have that mentality that each day when they come in, it's about getting better every day. And I think they've done a nice job of that. I mean, they're 16, 17-year-old kids, and they're not stupid. They can get on the internet and look to see how the bracket's set up. But we knew that coming into this thing, to get to where you want to be, you're going to have to beat good teams, whether it's week 1, week 2. It doesn't matter. This round 2 game is a great test for us against a really good football team that is coached extremely well, and it's going to be a great competitive game.
Coach, looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking to you next week, and thanks for the time.
All right, thanks, Brent.
Absolutely. That's Coach Aaron Beck, head coach of Great Bend High School football, joining us here on Sports Day.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Marmy Auto Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's, make it happen.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you. Big thanks to Coach Aaron Beck for joining me on the show today. He does every Thursday. And, man, for those who don't know, I mentioned it there. The winner of this game between Great Bend and Bishop Carroll gets the winner of Hayes and Hutchinson, which, I think everybody on Great Bend's side wants to see Hayes again. I 100% believe that. So it's a man, something's up with my computer screen here. Okay, we're good. We're good. Just want to say thanks to him. And yeah, hopefully it continues. I want to see Great Bend make a run to the state title game. I do. And they're taking it one game at a time. They're doing it the right way. They're doing it the mature way. I'm the immature one. I'm the one who's trying to get quotes and push narratives and all that kind of thing. But Coach Beck is too smart for me. Sports Day today is brought to you by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also brought to you by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. The Panthers kick off tomorrow against the Bishop Carroll. Gosh, what are they? The Crusaders? I don't know. I looked it up earlier. I don't know what they are. Hold on. I've got time here. Bishop Carroll, Kansas. Bishop Carroll. They are. Doesn't say. Gosh, I can't find it anywhere. All right. Either way, Bishop Carroll. That's who Great Bend is playing tomorrow. And again, I'm rooting for them all the way. I want to see him go. But big thanks to Coach Beck for joining us, not just today, but every day that he does. So next, before we get to our next break, I'm going to play an interview I had. This is Coach Nathan Brockelman, head coach of Barton Community College Wrestling, who joined me earlier for a conversation. We'll play that for you. A tough start to their season. Coach Brockelman will tell you about that, but it's still a lot of good things shown in that road trip down to Oklahoma as well. You'll hear about that from him right now. Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by Nathan Brockelman, head coach of Barton Community College Wrestling. Coach, we're going to make this a weekly thing, but first match happened for you guys last week. Walk people through that. How'd it go?
The score was not good. We lost 41-9, so it kind of looked like we went down there and just kind of got handled. But it was a lot closer duel than what the score showed, and it's probably hard for a lot of people to understand, but when you have matches that you're getting ready to tech fall a kid or pin a kid and then get caught on your back, that's a 12-point swing. So we had 2 matches that were like that, and we also had 2 matches that we lost or were getting ready to take the lead with about 30 seconds left and something slipped, early season kind of fatigue setting in, and so we ended up losing by decision. So, it was 41-9 loss, but it could have easily been a 24-21 win or something like that. So that's the joy of wrestling is matches can flip really quick, and you're never really out of a match. So on paper, it looks like we kind of got handled, but I wasn't necessarily disappointed in how we wrestled.
It's a good effort, and like you said, the sport of wrestling, things turn so quickly. I mean, you mentioned it. You're going in for some kind of pin, and the combination just kind of falls apart on you, and all next thing you know, you're on your back.
Yeah.
That's just how the way the sport works sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it goes. And, luckily it's just the first match of the year. I was going through our lineup, and so not all our guys are down to their actual weight class yet. So we're wrestling some guys up weights, and they were weighing in super light because of the descent plan that they have to follow. And I think only 2 of the 10 guys that started for us actually competed in a college match last year. So a lot of it was their first college match out of the gate. It's a little different wrestling against, someone you're familiar with in our scrimmage compared to wrestling someone you've never seen before. So some of them, hopefully they just kind of knocked off some of those freshman nerves, and we'll kind of get back after it this weekend.
How much do your guys typically cut? What do you want guys to get down to?
I honestly don't have a preference. If a kid wants to cut a lot or get down a certain weight, I have the tools and knowledge to be able to help them do that. If they want to wrestle what they naturally weigh, I'm okay with that too. It just kind of depends on the preference of the kid. I think the biggest weight cut we'll probably have this year is one of our kids came in a little fat over the summer and weighed like 190, and his goal is to wrestle 165. And he'll be down to about 174 this week because of the descent plan. It's not like he's just cutting it all in 1 week.
Right.
This has been a process for him since mid-September, so he's working on cutting some weight, a couple pounds a week, and we're doing it the right way, not just in the old school days where you just dehydrate yourself and starve yourself. Doing it in a healthier fashion.
Start running laps and trash bags, things like that.
Yeah, none of that anymore. So,
yeah, that's always such an interesting thing to me. Is you hear these nightmare stories about weight cutting in combat sports, but there is a healthy way to do it. There's a way to go about it responsibly and reasonably, and it's good. Like you said, he's been at this for months now, trying to lose, 25, 30 pounds, and the fact that he is still on schedule, even though he's still a little heavy, is not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, and he's still in good spirits. He doesn't seem, he's not all sunken in the cheeks and things like that. He's in good spirits about it, and he understands the process and realized he just was a little bit too big over summer, and that happens sometimes. And we had another kid who kind of the same thing, thought he was going to do the same thing, but it's almost like he's hitting a growth spurt. He's grown 2 inches, so he might be changing weight classes here.
Oh, wow. So tell us about the team so far. I mean, you've only had one official meet so far, but talk about the team, and is there anybody that surprised you so far?
It was big for a couple of our guys to get wins last week. Derek Truman struggled last year as far as at the beginning of the year, and for him to come out and pin his guy, who was a redshirt freshman kid who was from NEO that transferred over to NOC. That was big for him, I thought. He struggled a little bit with confidence last year, and I think just the year of college wrestling under his belt is kind of what helped propel him to that. He was a lot more confident out there and not as nervous, and you can kind of see that with the upperclassmen that have wrestled some college matches. But like I said, 8 of the 10 were true freshmen wrestling their first college match, so you could kind of see the different nerves. So I was super proud of Derek Truman. We had some exhibitions going on. I know, local wrestler Brody Schnoblin, unfortunately did not get to wrestle his senior year due to an injury. So it had been, almost 2 years basically, or a year and a half for him before he's even wrestled a live actual match against another opponent. And, he picked up a win in the exhibitions that we did. So it was nice to see some of that going on too.
You've got an opportunity to kind of reset and get back on the winning track tomorrow. Go ahead and preview what you're doing there.
Yeah, so we're going to Benedictine. We're actually leaving this afternoon. We're going to wrestle 4 to 5 duels tomorrow on Friday, and then we will wrestle in an open there as well on Saturday. Unfortunately, I don't really have a very good preview. They have not sent us who we're dueling.
Ooh.
I'm just praying that we're not going to show up there because I know like Neosho and Labette and Cali and Colby are all there. I'm just praying that we don't show up there and we just duel our conference. I'm hoping they give us at least the courtesy to duel some other teams. If we just duel our conference or our own conference, we'll probably go find a new event next year. 'Cause that'd be kind of pointless to travel all the way to Atchison just to duel our conference opponents. But hopefully, there's a chance we may be able to duel Quincy, who's I believe it like top 10 team in D2. Hastings, Benedictine, Lynn College out of Arkansas. So hopefully we get to mix it up with some of those other teams and not just wrestle our conference.
You mentioned the younger guys and the leap that guys tend to make from their first year to their second year or from the early season to middle. Talk about how important experience is in a sport like this. I mean, you call it mat time, right? That's the phrase that wrestling folks use. And how important that is for getting guys ready to compete at this level?
Mat time is huge, not only for the physical experience, but for the mental experience, especially as a freshman coming in. You're probably used to being the number one kid in your room, potentially, depending on what school you went to. And so when you come to a room where everyone is equal or better than you, and you go out to your first college match and get absolutely handled and get pinned or tech fault, it's a little bit eye-opening for some of them. So some of it's just how they respond to that. We do a lot of, building up and mental training and encouragement with the guys, and get them to peak not only mentally but physically as well by the end of the season is the ultimate goal. And I felt like last year we peaked at the right time, and we're going to kind of try to continue that process and get them ready for this year. Every weekend's a learning experience. You don't necessarily win and lose. You just learn and make yourself better.
And so you said we're going to make this a weekly conversation between you and I. You usually come in on Thursdays, but next Thursday you're going to be a little bit busy. Won't be able to make it in, so we'll have to do that over the phone. But what's happening next week?
Yeah, so next week, shout out to all our sponsors and donors, whether they're local or the athletes getting some sponsorships from some of their local businesses as well. We want to thank them dearly. Made it possible for us to make this trip out to Utah here. They're doing a preseason national duels out at Richfield, Utah, which is Snow College. And then they're following it up with an open tournament on Saturday as well. So I've been kind of watching the weather, and it looks like, we're kind of in the clear, crossing our fingers. I know that can change pretty quickly in the mountains. But we're looking forward to making that trip out to Utah and seeing some teams that we never get to see until we get to the national championship. So that's the main reason, was to kind of go see some of those, West Coast teams. We'll duel, like number 2 Western Wyoming. We'll duel them on Friday for sure. I kind of got our pool matchups already for that, and we'll duel Snow and Colorado Northwestern is who's in our pool. So pretty tough pool there, and we'll just kind of see how we do and see how we finish.
Coach, looking forward to hearing about it. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's Coach Nathan Brockelman, head coach of Barton Community College Wrestling, joining us here on Sports Day.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Gobble up the savings at C&D Doors. Right now, get incredible Thanksgiving deals on 9x7 and 16x7 white insulated garage doors. These savings won't last long. When the turkeys are gone, so are the deals. So run or waddle or maybe even gobble to C&E Doors today and gobble up your insulated door before they fly the coop.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you. Big thanks to Nathan Brockelman for joining me. Wrestling is such an interesting sport because he was absolutely right when he said that things can be going really well and all of a sudden things will just slip out from underneath you. Tell you the truth, the year that I wrestled in high school, that's how I got a couple of wins. I escaped, and the other guy had worn himself out trying to get me down, and somehow I found my way on top of him. And that's what wrestling is just somehow find a way. And so I think Barton Community College is going to be just fine as far as wrestling goes. And looking forward to talking to Coach Brockelman more. If you've never seen Coach Brockelman, he's an interesting dude. Long, braided blonde hair and kind of like a dirty blonde, and it's in like 4 different braids that kind of surround his head. But that's a very common thing in wrestling, as far as I know. And the dude is super easy to talk to, super cool, and really, really passionate about the sport of wrestling. And again, man, the people that like wrestling really like wrestling. I mean, I should have asked him for an update on how things are looking as far as women, because again, Barton Community College starting next year is going to start sponsoring a women's wrestling program, and with the growth of it around the country, especially in Kansas, and the way that Keisha has kind of latched onto it, and it's become a cultural movement, and he's obviously a big fan of it. And our first interview about a month ago, he said, look, I credit women's wrestling with saving the sport because attendance was down everywhere. And then when they allowed women's wrestling, there were bump ups in, now obviously the women that started to come out and could wrestle other girls, but also on the men's side of things, more boys, more young kids started to show up. And so he fully credits that, and I'm curious to see how that development is going. Maybe I'll ask him about that next week. Sports Day today is brought to you by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and in Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. In our third and final conversation of the day, earlier today I spoke with Jim Carterser of Barton Community College volleyball. Excuse me. As you'll hear it at the end of the interview, I had a little bit of a vocal snafu, mess up, maybe a better word. I don't know. Either way, but it's the second time today I've been trying to say Barton Community College volleyball and mess it up. Either way, super successful season for Barton Community College volleyball. This is such a good team, a lot of fun, some really good players. Coach Carterser and I spoke about that earlier today. We're going to take you to that conversation right now. Coach Carterser, very generous with his time. Here's that conversation. Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by Jim Carterser, head coach of Barton Community College volleyball. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. And first of all, congratulations on what seems to be a super successful first season for you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's the coach that was here before me, Megan, she recruited a great team, so I kind of walked into a good situation.
So your regular season wraps up. You went, I think you only had one loss in the conference, 15-1, 16-1, something like that?
Yeah, we lost to Colby in 5 at their place.
So you have that, and you end up getting the revenge on Colby later in the season, so a really good showing for your squad overall, but now we go into postseason time. Well, let's close out the regular season first. You closed out with a sweep of Cloud County. Last time you were in with us, you said you needed to get those last 2 wins to guarantee you the top spot in the tournament, and Coach, you managed to do it.
Yeah, we did. The girls, they played at the level that we needed to play to not have to go extra sets, and and that's always good because the longer you play, obviously you're risking injury. You're tiring out your legs and your arms at a time of the season when we really need to be, taking as few swings and as few jumps as we possibly can.
And so you got Aubrey Olander recently broke a record. Go ahead and wax poetic about her a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's the last 2 years here, she's just been an anchor on defense. I can't speak for last year, but this year, she's very natural in the job that she does. There's some kids that you just look at them and they were kind of born to play that position. and she was just kind of born to play middle, and she's wrapping up her volleyball career here. She's going to go to Wichita State and just be a regular student. So I think these last few matches are really important to her too, because, most everybody else will be going on and playing another 2 years, and she's already made the decision that this is going to be it for her. So I think she's really excited to finish out the season and continue to add to that record-breaking block assists stat that she's got going.
And elsewhere being recognized right now, Mina Kaneko continues to pile up awards, got her 6th Jayhawk League Defensive Player of the Week honor this past week, and she's just, anytime you have a libero who's just rock solid, it does so much for a volleyball team.
Oh, yeah, and the thing to the common observer, I guess, you wouldn't understand what she does. She makes it look so routine that it's a little bit deceiving. She's a terrific kid. She's a terrific defender. She's a good teammate. She's the complete package, but I think a lot of times, offense sells the tickets and defense wins the matches. So,
Everyone wants to see those, the 6'2" frontline hitters just hit the ball 90 miles an hour, but that doesn't happen without. I had a high school team in here, a high school volleyball team on the show, and they kept calling their very talented libero kind of the quarterback of their team, and she's doing the distributing to the superstars, and that's just kind of what the libero does.
Yeah, she's, especially as you move up levels, you've got to be able to use your middles and your right sides often. And without good ball control, that ball is just being set to the outside every time, and it becomes very predictable, and you're an easy team to beat.
So let's move on to postseason. Like I said, finished 15-1, top spot in the conference for the regular season. Tell us about the tournament that's coming up and what you're expecting.
Well, we played the first round last night. We played Pratt last night, and we had a little rough start. We weren't real connected to the match. It's a team we'd already beaten twice, so I think we didn't get mentally prepared as well as we should have. That's probably on me, but we won the first set. It was a little tighter than it needed to be, and then we won the last 2 sets pretty convincingly. So, that was a good start for us. We're going to play a really good Dodge team on Saturday that's won about 5 or 6 in a row and only dropped a couple sets. And, we were lucky enough to beat them in 4 both times during the regular season, but they're well coached. They got good athletes. If we don't take care of business, it could be problematic, but I'm hoping that we go in there and at a neutral site. This team was born on the road, so road matches don't bother us at all. So,
you talk about before you've spoken before when we've had these conversations about how much of a momentum sport volleyball is, and how the atmosphere and everything contributes, and that's one of the reasons that you've been looking forward to playing all the matches at home at the end of the season. Talk about the postseason and how that kind of affects the momentum, and being later in the year, it makes it. Does it make it bigger? Is it kind of the same? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we'll be theoretically we'll be neutral site from here on out. I think we pretty much, we finished number 5 in the nation in the last poll, so I think we pretty much locked in a trip back to the national tournament in Clarksville, Tennessee. So, our last 6 matches that we play are all going to be theoretically on neutral court, which, I kind of think that gives us an advantage. Like I said, playing the entire over first half of the season on the road, that's how we evolved, So without having a ton of support from our fans or anything like that, we were able to put together a pretty good record. So I think that's going to be almost an advantage to us. Even though it's been a minute since we've played on the road, I don't think it'll take them long to get back into that mode.
You talked about it. You're the number 5 team in the country heading into, the next round of the tournament. How do you're expected to make a run at the national level. How do you kind of stay focused and stay ready for those games?
Well, it's the oldest adage in the world. You go one match at a time, So we'll prepare the best we can for the team that we know that we're playing. More than likely, if we get past Dodge on Saturday, we will play Colby on Sunday, and we know them and we know what they do well and what we're going to have to do well to beat them again. So the trick is when you get to nationals, you don't have a ton of time to prepare. You don't get any practice time. You get a short practice the first day you get there, about a 45, 50-minute practice, and after that, everything you're doing is theoretical. You're talking about stuff that you're going to have to do. You don't get to go out and practice it. So then it just becomes which team can adapt quicker and which team can apply more pressure. And that's usually who winds up winning the matches back at the national tournament.
Coach, looking forward to talking about it next time with you. Thanks for coming in.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's head coach Jim Carter of Barton Community College Volleyball joining us here on Sports Day.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmy's, make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Check Up on Health with Chris Whitting.
Diabetes is approaching epidemic levels in the U.S. We asked Dr. Sethu Reddy, author of the Cleveland Clinic Guide to Diabetes, whether diabetes is curable or is it something a patient just has to live with.
The truth early on is both. Certainly early in the history, you can reverse diabetes. You can even prevent diabetes, by the way. So for those millions of people with pre-diabetes, if you exercise and eat right and even try to lose, 4 or 5 pounds, that'll reduce your risk of diabetes by 50%.
And he says the cause of the diabetes epidemic is simple.
If you look at the obesity track in the last 50, 60 years in the U.S., you'll see we're all becoming more overweight, more obese as a society. And then if you follow the diabetes track, typically 10 years behind the obesity, you'll see the same thing happening.
With Checkup on Health, I'm Chris Whitting.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you. Big thanks to Coach Jim Carter of Barton Community College Volleyball joining us for today's show. That's the last major thing we have. Sports Day today is brought to you in part by Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. Big thanks to our guests today. Aaron Beck, head coach of Great Bend Football, Nathan Brockelman, coach of Barton Community College Wrestling, and Jim Carter, coach of Barton Community College Volleyball. Let's go ahead and look at what those three teams are doing. Great Bend won in Week 9 against Newton, 49-14, as they were expected, the 1 versus 16 matchup. Bishop Carroll advanced over Valley Center in the 8-9 game. They won at 14-0, and now they will take on Great Bend tomorrow. You can hear that matchup over on B104.3 The Point. I'm going to push that again tomorrow. So in case you forget it, you're okay. Just tune back into Sports Day, and I'll remind you at the end of the show. Bishop Carroll at Great Bend tomorrow. Kickoff at 7 on B104.3 The Point. Barton Volleyball is they won the first round of the Region 6 tournament last night. They move on to play round 2 against Dodge City on Saturday. So that's what's in up next for them. Barton Wrestling is also back tomorrow. They are headed up to Atchison, Kansas. And you heard Coach Brockelman. They don't know who they're going to face yet, but they're going up there and they're just going to get on the mat and they're going to give it a go. So Coach Brockelman and the Barton Wrestling team headed up to Atchison I think he said up. So headed to Atchison tomorrow. They'll be there for 2 days, and they'll wrestle Friday and Saturday. Here's what's happening in the world of sports tonight if you want to watch anything. We'll go through this here at the very end of the show. Obviously, you've got Thursday Night Football. The Raiders traveling to face the Broncos. Feels like a Broncos win. Feels like a very easy Broncos win. Broncos currently on top of the AFC West. So it's something to keep in mind if you're a Chiefs fan. You're rooting for the Raiders here, as much pain as that may be. But the Broncos feels like they're going to get a pretty easy win. Only one NBA game tonight. The Clippers are taking on the Suns, if you want to have access to that. You have a full slate of the National Hockey League. This one's kind of cool. In the Women's International Exhibition, live from Cleveland, Ohio, will be live on NHL Network, Canada taking on the United States. If you know nothing about hockey, Canada and the United States is a massive rivalry. These two teams hate each other in a very not fun way. There's a lot of hatred and vitriol in that rivalry, so might be fun to watch. College football, if that's your game, tonight at 7:30, Georgia Southern. Hey, that's my sister's alma mater. My sister, a graduate of Georgia Southern, over in Statesboro, Georgia is where Georgia Southern is. They'll be taking on App State on ESPN2, if that's what you want to watch. Another college football game on, kicking off the exact same time, 7:30. UTSA, fresh off a massive upset over Tulane, which has put a lot of Auburn fans into question about whether or not they want John Sumrall to be the head coach, which I think is dumb. I would kill to have John Sumrall coach my football team. They'll be taking on South Florida, which their coach, Matt Golish, last name Golish, is also being talked about for the Auburn job. So there's a couple of connections. Golish probably going to get a Power 4 job at the end of this cycle, and a name that a lot of Auburn folks are talking about. We are in basketball country. Good for you guys. A lot of basketball games happening tonight. Some big names are going. Number 11, Louisville will host Jackson State tonight. Auburn plays tonight. They are playing Merrimack College. A couple other big names I'm trying to see. Boston College will play the Citadel tonight, and that's what you're looking for. There's a couple of interesting games on. It's still too early in the year for the super interesting college basketball games. This weekend, one that's really exciting, KU will be traveling to play North Carolina. And while in North Carolina, I don't know how good either team's going to be this year. I think they're both tournament teams still. Maybe not the super dominant forces that they have been, even though UNC did have a really good year last year. I think that the magnitude of these two programs, these are, depending on how you want to angle it, two of the top three college basketball programs of all time, Kansas and North Carolina. So countless championships between the two, and they're going to go at each other on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to that, and I will be seated for sure whenever that game happens. And I think
Agriculture
that's going to be a lot of fun, and I for one can't wait. So don't know what the heck just happened there. That was weird. But I want to say on the exit here of the show, big thanks to Aaron Beck, rooting for them on Friday as the Great Bend Panther football team takes on Bishop Carroll. Big thanks to Nathan Brockelman, head coach at Barton Community College Wrestling, for coming on the show today. Really looking forward to continuing our conversations with him. Again, that's usually going to be a Thursday thing. He's coming in, will be coming in the studio. Didn't have access to the studio today. Couldn't film it, but we will film it next time we have him on, as well as, except for next week, because he'll be on the road, and so we'll have a phone conversation with him. And also, big thanks to Jim Carter, head coach of Barton Community College volleyball. Good luck to them this weekend as they continue in the Region 6 tournament. But that is going to do it for today's show. Big thanks to you for watching. Big thanks to Landon Winkler for running the video feed and the cameras, keeping us on the air. And, hey, looking forward to tomorrow's show. Head coach of Great Bend Volleyball, Shelly Duvall, joins us on the show for their kind of season wrap-up. And also, we'll talk to Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions for our usual Friday conversation. We'll talk playoffs and state championships in volleyball as well. So I hope you're all looking forward to that as much as I am. That's going to do it for today's show. Hey, we're going to be back here tomorrow, Sports Day, 12:30, right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.